Сайн байцгаана уу хүнд үзэгчдээ. Өнөөдөр орой манай дефакто нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор
CNN International телевизийн хөтлөгч сурвалжлагч Анна Корен сэтгүүл зүйн салбарт 10 гаруй жилийн турш ажилласан туршлагатай. Корен Японд болсон газар хөдлөлт, цунами, Шинэ Зеландын газар хөдлөлт, Австралийн хар салхи, Филиппинд автобус барьцаалсан, Тайландын улаан цамцтангуудын бослого зэрэг Аз номхон талаан бүс нутагт болсон онцлог үйл явдлуудыг газар дээрээс нь шууд сурвалжлан хүргэж байжээ. Мөн бизнес, аж үйлдвэр, соёлын чиглэлээр сонирхолтой нэвтрүүлэг бэлтгэн хүргэснээс гадна алдарт найруулагч Джеймс Камеронтой 3 хэмжээс технологийн тусламжтай шууд ярилцлага хийж байсан юм а. Анна Корен нэгдсэн үндэсний байгууллагын ерөнхий нарийн бичгийн дарга Бан Ги-мун, Тайландын ерөнхий сайд Абхисит Бичачива, Австралийн ерөнхий сайд Кевин Ред, Өмнөд Солонгосын дуучин жүжигчин Рейн, Холливуудын жүжигчин Clooney зэрэг алдартнуудаас ярилцлага авч байжээ. Корен Австралийн Charles Sturt их сургуулийн харилцаа холбооны бакалавр зэрэгтээ төгссөн бөгөөд 2008 оноос хойш CNN телевизийн сүлжээнд ажиллаж байна.
Hello, I'm Anna Korren in Hong Kong. Now let's go to some breaking news. This could ultimately turn into a bloodbath for your party.
Well, Anna, it won't be a bloodbath.
How do you avoid that?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot these days, and especially the last couple of years, about the resource course.
Mental health patients and drug addicts have made life here unpredictable, to say the least. Where do you live? Can you see
on
down
the
up there?
7th floor. If you don't like living here, you just have to get used to it.
New York is a very big city, and it's easy to feel lonely here. That's the hurdle. That is gold. Raw emotion, would you not say? Sports managers believe you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. How are you going to spend that money and keep your feet on the ground?
I don't know.
Do you miss running the country?
No.
No.
If I'd still been running a company, I wouldn't be with March.
Yeah, so well, there you go.
Easy choice.
You get sick of taking pills?
Yes, I get sick of taking pills, but if I don't, I turn into a pumpkin.
You're 95 now. Are you still dancing?
Yeah.
See that boy there?
Yeah. Is he your boyfriend?
Yes.
He escaped through the driver's window. He raced straight past the media.
Hello, I'm Anna Korren in Hong Kong. Hello and welcome to World Report. I'm Anna Korren in Hong Kong. I'm Anna Korren in Hong Kong. You are watching CNN Today.
CNN-ийн нэвтрүүлэгч Анна Корен оролцож байна. Good evening, Anne.
Hello, lovely to be here.
It is a great honor to interview one of the best interviewers in the world.
Well, that is very kind. It's great to be here in your studio and in Mongolia.
Thank you very much. I saw this morning on CNN your wonderful job with our politicians, the country, etc.
I think my country is blessed with the God, with abundant natural resources, with a nice land, and with very smart people. But the important thing is now, how do we convert this abundant natural resource to the benefit of the people, to the prosperity of the country? And that's the challenge of the country, that's the challenge of the people, and most importantly, the challenge of the government. We would like to convert into the development and prosperity of, first of all, our citizens, for their education, for their health, and for their job opportunities.
Could you speak about the challenges? I mean, there's always the danger, isn't there, of falling into the resources curse. How do you avoid that?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot these days, and especially the last couple of years, about the resource course. And I think there are many experiences and good experiences, and also there's certain lessons from different countries we could learn, and we could benefit from those lessons. And in our case, we have seen some other good experiences of different countries. We thought that we should not reinvent the wheel. We should better learn and copy the good successes. We have seen the Norwegian experience of sharing the benefit. We have seen the Chilean Stability Fund. We have seen Canadian and Alaska model and different other models. So I think we are learning from these good experiences, and most importantly, we focus on the governance issue. The bad and good really depends on the open and transparent and fair government and governance of the these issues.
I guess that's the beauty of this young country, isn't it? Because it's a very old country, but a young democracy at 1990, so you can pick and choose the best bits of each country and form your own. But I now want to talk a little bit about that gap between the rich and the poor, because a third of your population does live below the poverty line. I know the government is introducing a shared distribution plan involving the Tavan Tolgoi coal mining project. Is this the first of many projects where you will distribute shares to all citizens?
Yes, this will be the first of many projects, but more importantly, really the challenge of the government is how do we benefit people of Mongolia from this huge revenue which we are expecting from the mining developments and from major strategic projects. And we have created certain fund called Human Development Fund, through which we channel these revenues. We will channel this to the education of the people, to the health of the people, to the job opportunity, to the housing, and the other needs of the people, so that people get fair shares and fair revenue from the mineral opportunities. And we are also issuing the preferred stock to a certain extent to the people of Mongolia from the strategic deposits, and we are issuing preferred stock to each and individual citizens of Mongolia from the major coking coal deposit, which is called TT.
Before going to Mongolia, I would like to ask you several questions about you. How you became a journalist? You have a bachelor in arts and communication.
That's right.
Yeah.
You've done your research.
Yes.
I did. I did a Bachelor of Arts Communications in New South Wales. I'm from Australia. I was born in Sydney. So I went to university actually outside of Sydney at a journalism college. And after that I went and worked as a journalist in the country. Got some experience, and then I moved into the city, moved back to Sydney, where I worked for the biggest news station. That was Channel 9 in Sydney.
When you were just very young, you have been spending a lot of time in front of camera. Then you spend a lot of hours with your channels, according to the news I got.
Yeah.
How happened?
I did, yeah. I mean, I spent, I think it was 5 years with Channel 9 and then across to Channel 7. And I had an opportunity to work in Los Angeles as their US correspondent. So I got to travel around and then joined CNN 3 years ago. So
I saw that. And
good
after
career.
you joined CNN, you have been traveling across the world like probably any other, because you are working with international news now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you went to several dangerous places, I would say, the earthquake and the other several areas. When you visited Japan after that, just terrible thing happened. What was the feeling as a human being?
I was anchoring that day when the earthquake and then subsequently the tsunami hit. And to be in the studio and watch those pictures of the wave come just powering through, that was quite extraordinary, because you're watching it on a small little screen, and then to know the power of what has just occurred, and you're only sort of seeing a small fraction of it. We had no idea as to how widespread it was. So I then came off air and we got on a plane and we flew to Japan. We were sort of on the ground 24 hours later up in Sendai, and to be up there to witness the devastation, it was
that was very hard to access the area as well.
It was very hard to get to. Yeah, it was. We had to sort of take the long route, up to Sendai, and then from Sendai we had to drive up to Ishinomaki, which was one of the worst hit places.
What on?
Yeah, Wolf, we just had a major aftershock here. It's the second one in the last couple of hours. So that tsunami alert to Sendai and much of Japan's northeast coast is still well and truly in alert. The concern, of course, is that another quake will trigger another tsunami like the one that we experienced on Friday, that 10-metre monster wave that engulfed so much of the coast.
And the shaking that you're feeling right now, is it over with, this aftershock? How significant? You've been there now for a while. How significant was this aftershock, the tremor that you're feeling?
It was significant. The equipment is moving. That's for sure where we are set up here. The aftershock, a little earlier this morning, I was actually inside a building, and the blinds were moving, and you could, physically feel the building sway from side to side. So these aftershocks are still continuing, and there have been dozens since the 8.9 magnitude quake struck here on Friday.
And all the experts say, Anna, there are going to be dozens more in the coming days and weeks. This crisis is by no means over. Anna, hold on a minute. Chad Myers, our severe weather expert, our meteorologist, is joining us right now. We shouldn't be surprised, Chad, that there's another earthquake in effect, an aftershock that has just occurred.
That's right. But Anna, if you can still hear me, an hour and 15 minutes ago, there was a 6.3 aftershock. Two questions. Did you feel that one? And if you did, how much stronger was the one that you just felt compared to that one?
Yeah, Chad, the one that we experienced earlier this morning, the one that you mentioned an hour ago, that was much stronger, much stronger. I was actually inside the building, and it was swaying from side to side. There were blinds inside the building, and they were moving. So that was much more noticeable. Although in saying that, I am standing outside now, so it's you can see trees move, you can see our television equipment move.
I remember the time when in the Philippines near Manila, not Manila, in the Philippines, people have taken hostage the bus.
Yeah, the Philippines bus hostage crisis.
It was whole day things. I mean, how was it dangerous?
Yeah, that was a very bizarre situation. We knew that this former police officer had taken this busload of tourists hostage, and I'm based in Hong Kong with CNN, and got on a plane, flew to the Philippines, flew into Manila, and it was still ongoing. We drove out to the site to do a live shot into the news, and the next thing, gunshots rang out.
Yep.
And that's when it just all just went crazy. The police officers just come running in from everywhere, and they were smashing up the bus, and there was lots of shots firing around, so we had to take shelter.
The other four members being the bus driver. More gunshots. As the hostage drama unfolded in the Philippines capital, viewers around the world watched in horror as the perilous situation spiraled out of control. In full view of television cameras, former police officer 55-year-old Rolando Mendoza seized a bus carrying Hong Kong tourists in Manila on August 23rd, armed with an M16 rifle. Within 11 hours, 8 of those tourists were dead before the gunman was shot in the head by a sniper's bullet. Despite reports of friendly fire, the government now claims Mendoza killed all the hostages at point-blank range. But the botched police operation has been the subject of an investigation by an independent committee, as Hong Kong demands answers as to what went so tragically wrong. President Benigno Aquino is expected to act on the committee's recommendations, and the Justice Secretary, Leila de Lima, has revealed that 10 people, including police officers, a government official and a journalist, will face charges. While the police handling of the crisis has been strongly condemned, the media's role has also been under intense scrutiny. A Senate inquiry this week questioned numerous media organisations, critical of their coverage and why the cameras were so close to the scene. It's been established the gunman was watching the drama on television inside the bus and began firing when he saw his brother arrested. It's also been revealed a radio station had the hostage taker on the phone live for an hour before the shooting began.
He escaped through the driver's window. He raced straight past the media.
CNN was positioned at the police cordon, less than 150 metres from the bus, and our crew had to take cover. Once it was over, we were amazed we were allowed to enter the crime scene. The handling of the crisis has hurt Aquino's new presidency, with critics saying he has failed his first major test in office. But while he's promised that heads will roll, many wonder if it's enough to mend strained relations with Hong Kong and improve the Philippines' damaged reputation abroad. Anna Korren, CNN, Hong Kong.
Are you insured?
Behind the van.
Insurance.
Am I insured?
Yes.
I think CNN insured.
All insurance, yeah, okay.
I hope so.
Well, on the interesting notes, you made a very interesting interview with a lot of famous people. What was the interview that you remember, or with the fun or whatever, deepest feeling?
Wow. I have met some quite extraordinary people, I have to say. Goodness me, I don't think I can...
How about Greg Norman?
Greg Norman, okay.
Tell me about Greg Norman.
Greg Norman,
the best golfer, legendary.
Australian, golfing legend. No, he was fantastic. Yeah,
White shark.
That's what they call him, the white shark. No, he was fantastic. He was fantastic. Yeah, I had an opportunity just recently. I was back in Japan, sort of interviewed Hayao Miyazaki, who is a great Japanese animator. Quite an intellectual who's against sort of nuclear power, so that was interesting. I interviewed Sigourney Weaver recently, the American actress, so that was also fascinating.
It was not on your website, by the way. Korean actor Rain.
Yeah, got to interview Rain.
When you interview these people, obviously successful, famous, popular, would you think there is a particular character you would find in them amazing, interesting, or Clooney? What do you think?
George Clooney.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to interview George Clooney. Unfortunately, not face to face, but yeah, he was talking about Darfur, so it was really fascinating. I think when people like that, those sorts of celebrities who are earning so much money and are so popular, but to be a voice, spokesperson for really worthy issues, I think that is really commendable.
We obviously, everybody in Mongolia, we watch CNN, and everywhere, thanks to you, we are visiting whatever is happening, and then suddenly we see always the program called, or motto, you guys, everybody's saying, go beyond borders. What is this about?
Go Beyond Borders is it's a bit of a motto, I think, at CNN. I guess it explains what we do, which is not just to tell the news, but we take you a little bit further than other news networks. I think we have a pretty amazing group of journalists who really, investigate certain issues and bring them...
Quest,
Grant. Exactly, Stan Grant was here. He spent a couple of weeks here.
Really, these people are, in a way, risking their life and coming to places which otherwise hard to visit, and really because I think go beyond border because they're really to inform what's really going on, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to go beneath the surface, don't you? You really have to. I mean, just like you do. You can't take things at face value. You have to ask the hard questions, and you have to make sure that what people are telling you.
And it is not always easy.
It's not always easy. No, as we know.
Another very impressed program you have is CNN Heroes. People who made extraordinary things, ordinary people that made.
And it's funny that you asked me that, Jargal, because the celebrities, I think they're fantastic, and if they're lending their voice or they've done really fascinating things, I think it's wonderful to highlight that. But often it's the ordinary people, as you say, doing extraordinary things that are the most inspirational, because they're not in the limelight. They're not, getting the attention that the others are getting. They're just going about their ordinary business and changing people's lives for the better.
There's so many other programs, and I think you have a certain philosophy in the CNN. CNN is a private network, right? And for my audience who owns CNN,
it's run by Turner. So yes, it's a company based in the United States.
Okay, it's a private network and gives news on all around the world, 24 hours, right?
That's right.
Should be very hard to do 24 hours. How many offices you have to broadcast?
Well, there are 3 main hubs. Atlanta is where the US operation is. You've been there.
Wonderful place there.
Yeah. There's also London. And then there's Hong Kong, which is where I broadcast out of. So these are the 3 main hubs where we broadcast the news. So depending on the time of the day and where the world
hear from. Is it so? I mean, it is that easy to switch in between the cities, and then you interview people at the same time from a different areas?
Well, we then have bureaus all across the world, so we are able to, cross to Islamabad and speak to our correspondent on the ground. We can then cross to Johannesburg and speak to somebody there. Cross to London for the riots. I mean, it's immediate. When there is breaking news, CNN is all across it, and I think that is one of our strengths, that we cover the news.
Have you visited China many times?
I visited China a couple of times. I was there for the Beijing Olympics, not with CNN, with my former company based in Australia. So it's a fascinating place.
How's it working like in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong is brilliant. It's a very dynamic place. It's I think you really feel like you're a global citizen there, because you feel like you're part of the world community. I mean, it's a financial hub. And and the access to the rest of Asia is it's extraordinary.
So why Mongolia?
Why Mongolia, you ask?
Because, well, suddenly I see the other, in March I met Grant here. It's a good program on what was going on here on Mongolian Economic Forum. And since that, more news about Mongolia, then now it's more even coverage of Mongolia with very interesting advertisement. There are boys running and showing and about Mongolia.
Yeah.
So
this series is called Eye On, and so we go to
you do it
different
for
countries.
7 countries, okay.
Go to all these different countries around the world. I've been, for the Eye On series, I've been to South Korea, I've been to Indonesia, and I've been to Macedonia. So these are countries that, unless there's breaking news happening, we don't really get to cover the story. So with Mongolia, there is an amazing business story going on at the moment.
That we will talk.
As far as breaking news, which was something that would bring us to Mongolia. This is a very remote place. I mean, I know that you are next door to China and to Russia, but it's not the kind of place that a lot of international journalists get to. So this was just such a rare opportunity. And,
we think that the China and Russia are close to us.
That's exactly the way it should be.
You made an interesting program in Korea, the future of energy. And exactly, it's one of the news where, not breaking news, but that was the point, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
And the similar things happening with Mongolia and mining. You had interviewed several interesting people here, and you have been asking a question about how this mineral wealth will be shared by Mongolians. What is your take so far on that? What Mongolians are going to do, and what are they doing?
Well, before I came to Mongolia, I spoke to a lot of people who are doing business here, and they spoke about these extraordinary opportunities, the vast minerals in the ground, and how this is really going to transform Mongolia. When I got here, there are certainly signs of that transformation taking place, and I know the mines are hundreds and hundreds of kilometres away.
You visited there, right, the south?
Stan Grant, yes, our correspondent who did the stories, yes, he visited them. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get up them because we have been doing the show from Ulaanbaatar all week. But look, I think that whilst you have this amazing opportunity, there are enormous challenges ahead. A third of your population lives below the poverty line.
Yes.
You get just on the outskirts of Ulaanbaatar and you can see the slums, the infrastructure, the public works programs. I mean, this is the roads, the traffic. I mean, it's quite extraordinary. Jakarta is known for having shocking traffic. I think Ulaanbaatar. I think you take the cake. Yeah, definitely. It's quite staggering. So, I mean, these are all things that you obviously, as a country, need to overcome.
So these are the issues we have
to see the greatness that is there.
These are the issues we have to solve with the mineral wealth, first of all.
That's
but at the same time, our politicians believe that they should give a cash to Mongolians. It makes inflation and makes people with money, otherwise they have not earned. Do you compare? Is there any similar countries in that terms?
I think that there's a danger when you create a welfare-dependent state, because as you say, people need to earn their money, and that needs to you need to encourage that work ethic, and that is how you make a great nation. So yeah, it's a dangerous road to go down, but I'm sure that much greater minds than mine, than mine will be able to work that out.
It has to do also with you have been asking the Mongolian Stock Exchange president, who is from London Stock Exchange.
Yeah,
so obviously on one side we have a lot want to do to change things. That's why we invite them. But on the other hand, as he said, remember you have mentioned about the Transparency International Index?
Yes.
What was that index? Out of 170 countries, we are 160 in the line.
You're in the bottom 35%.
Bottom 35.
Yeah, as far as perception of corruption, and that is not good. That is something that you have to change.
That's we must change in order to. That's probably the governance issue, and that remember you have asked also on governance, and this is the number one issue to trigger this solutions of these problems we have described. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, without a doubt. You need to be transparent so that foreign investors want to pour their money in. I know that everybody is looking at Mongolia thinking there's huge opportunities, but there are also concerns.
Yes.
So it's a matter of reassuring the international community that yes, you can safely invest in Mongolia.
So hopefully CNN will follow what's going on today and sometime in the future.
I have no doubt you'll keep us informed as well.
In short future, I think we will be doing much better.
Fantastic.
And you are yoga person. Tell us about
I am a yoga person. I was so impressed that you had found that out about me. I really like Bikram yoga, which is the hot yoga. So the room is heated up to 38 degrees.
Oh my!
I know, it's a bit crazy.
And how often you go there?
I try to go a couple times a week. So yeah, you sweat, lots of sweating. It's the whole cleansing process. But I really enjoy it.
And you exercise as well.
I do. Yeah. I do a lot of running and training. Yeah.
Probably it is not that easy to be very fit and working so much and traveling so much.
Well, it's crazy when you come on these trips. You don't do a lot of exercise. There's that's the problem. You don't get to jump on the treadmill and go running.
Why your parents?
My family, they are back in Australia. Yeah, I'm the eldest of 4 children.
Yeah.
And my sisters, I have 2 sisters, and they live in Sydney. My brother is in Perth, and my parents are in a beautiful place called Byron Bay, which is the most easterly point of Australia. So it's like rural country overlooking the ocean. It's my idea of paradise. So
what is your father doing?
My father is now retired, but he was an oral surgeon, so a maxillofacial surgeon, operated on people's faces and jaws. So.
Mother?
My mum is an amazing mum. So she raised 4 children.
Can understand, yes.
She is the glue in our family, that's for sure.
Okay. What are your siblings doing?
My sister is, I have 2 sisters. One sister is a doctor who is married and pregnant. So her baby is due in December. We're very excited about that. My other sister is in marketing for Shine production company. And my brother is he's a commercial diver. So he used to work for Rio Tinto, which I know that you're probably all familiar with.
A lot of people are employed by Rio Tinto in Australia.
Yeah, they are.
And Perth, you said
that's right. He's based in Perth, but he's now working on the oil and gas rigs out in the ocean, going deep undersea. So.
Western Australia is our mining centre of Australia,
that's right? Yeah, Western Australia and Queensland. But mainly Western Australia. Yeah.
I have recently visited Brisbane and Queensland.
Yeah, okay.
Beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place. It is.
I was told there is a winter, but it's still like...
Not like your winter.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, my goodness. How do you survive the winters here?
First of all, this is our motherland. We somehow... Not much.
It's amazing. It is amazing. We've been broadcasting our show all this week, every morning at 7 a.m. So standing outside. This morning it was in Parliament Square.
Yes.
We've done it a couple of times.
But it's a good time.
Building. It was beautiful, but it's cold. It's cold.
Now cold? No.
I've been cold.
Okay. Working in CNN looks like you guys. When you start your show yourself, I mean, when do you wake up? I come every time you are there.
Very early, like 4 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, my day starts at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
so,
that's quite hard work.
It gets tiring, but it's all worth it.
In spite of their whole busy schedule, you came to Mongolia and you visited our studio.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.
And hopefully sometime later you will have the problems we have talked about solved in this country.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all ordinary Mongolians are for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I hope so.
I will watch you and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very pleased to meet you.